Welcome to another episode of Chair Yoga. My name is Karen Lyons, and today's yoga is going to be more of a restful, restorative type of a practice. It's very important to take some time to be a little bit more quieter. The wintertime months are definitely the time of year to do that, to kind of go in within and relax and have a little bit of stillness. And so today we're going to do that, okay? So I have my 2 blocks, and then I also have this great big huge chunky monkey bolster. And if you don't have anything like this, a big pillow will do, or even the cushion to the chair seat maybe. You could bring a chair up to you as well, and have another chair facing you. So we're going to start. So we're going to start in grounding in today, and I'm going to take the blocks and bring them in front, and that's to bring my feet up. Now, my legs are a little bit short, so this actually helps bring my knees up just ever so slightly higher than my hip, which is good for hip alignment. So I'm going to bring the feet up onto the blocks, and again, if you don't have blocks, you can use books, or boxes or anything that would support the feet. Then I'm going to take this big bolster today, and I'm going to actually bring it up to my chest, and we're going to bring our arms up and around and over, okay? And then it's important here to allow yourself just to melt over the bolster or the pillow or whatever you have, maybe even blankets rolled up, a couple of blankets rolled up. And you want to feel it in the shoulders. You're going to feel it in the trap muscles in the back. You're going to open up through the collarbone, right? And more importantly, I just want you to relax and just kind of let gravity take hold and just begin to melt into the bolster. Now, another important thing is to have your forehead touch something if you can. And the reason for that is that then it tells the nervous system, you're okay, you're safe, it's that fight or flight, right? So you want to make sure that you get that forehead of yours touching something. If that doesn't work for you, like so, all right, if that doesn't work for you, what you can do is bring your hands together, bring your thumbs together, and then just allow your forehead to rest on your thumbs, okay? So you decide what's best for you. If you've got your arms out, try to keep the elbows nice and straight and just drop the wrists down. Let them just dangle down so that the fingers are down towards the floor, right? And then let that head come down right onto the bolster. And then what I'd like you to do when you get into that position is just start to marinate. Just kind of hang out here and let your body relax and just get into the movement of your breath, feeling the breath coming in through the nose, right? How does it feel coming in through the nose? Do you have a little shortness of breath? Or are you able to really bring the breath in and then exhale? Are you able to really take a beautiful long exhalation, right? You can do it out through the mouth if you feel a little bit more comfortable doing it that way. It's all good. But just let's take a few rounds of breath here, and a little bit of stillness, a little bit of quietness in that sense of really relaxing, bringing everything down. And you just stay there while I walk you through it, keeping your head down as much as you can. Really just allow the shoulders to relax, around the head to relax. And then start to feel the breath come into the back side of the body. Can you exactly right down into that rib cage, right down into that belly area. Breathe in nice and long and big and strong. And then just let it out, sigh it out if you'd like to. Just release, right? Like a rag doll. That's really what you want to feel like, is that rag doll, letting those arms just relax down. And then while you're still in this position, what I'd like you to do is just now start to think about how you feel, where you feel. Have that little connection of body, mind awareness. Do you have a little aching in the lower back area today? Are your shoulders a little cranky? Maybe your knees are starting to be a little bit more, swollen, or in a little bit of inflammation in the knee. Does it, cause any achiness? Wherever. Maybe it's your pinky finger that doesn't feel so great today, but no judgment on it, just aware of where your body is right now, okay? And just acknowledge it, okay? And acknowledge it with a curiosity, say, gee, that's funny how this feels today, right? Don't give it a story, just notice it, and then just keep breathing away. And now what we're going to do is, if your arms are out like so, if they're up like this, just bring them out in front of you so that they're out here, now that everybody's got their arms out. And then just start rolling the wrists around one way. Really get some mobility in there. We're still kind of leaning forward towards that pillow or that bolster or cushion. Or the, chair. If you're on another chair, just come up a little bit so that you can do this. And then open and closing your fingers nice and wide. Good. Beautiful. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to bring a little bit more movement into the body using the bolster or the cushion. So now what I'd like you to do is bring that in so that it's up, hopefully up by your knees. And if you need to build up your cushion, maybe, you put that up on some blocks or books, but try to get it up as high as your knees if you can. Have it maybe resting on the knee. And we're just going to sit up nice and tall, and we're just going to reach the arms up over our head. Maybe take a little gaze up towards the ceiling as you look up towards those fingertips. And then I want you to start to sweep down, and as you sweep down, you're just going to bring the head down to that bolster again. And again, maybe you need to build it up a little bit. So I even have this blanket, so I can even bring this in and bring it here just to get a little bit more height. And again, what we're doing is we're just going to marinate here, okay? So we're going to take that in again, reaching those arms way up, take that gaze with you, and then sweep the arms down. And as you sweep the arms down, bring the head down to that bolster. Okay, and keep the head down on the bolster, and now feel the arms dropping down. And when you allow the arms and the fingertips to just totally surrender towards the floor, you feel that whole opening in the top of the shoulders and in through the back area. And then you definitely feel like a rag doll here. So go ahead and just drop those hands down, right? Just let everything be limp and loose, and just allow the back body to expand with your breath as you just, again, hanging out here for a few rounds of breath, right? Feel it in your back body. Let that breath go all the way down into your belly area, expanding through the back rib cage, expanding through the trapezius muscles on the back, right? Allowing that expansion to happen. And we want that expansion to happen because we want to bring breath into the body. The breath is our chi. It's our it's our life force energy. So that's what we want. And we want to expand the body so that we can really get some good breath in there, that good pranayama. So hang out here for a couple more rounds of breath. And again, just allowing everything to melt. kind of surrendering down into the posture, okay? And again, you can do this up against the bed, okay? Sitting and just have that head down and have those arms down. Now, if you have a tendency of getting dizzy or have any issues with vertigo, then just allow yourself to come down, keep the head up. Let yourself just hang on to your thighs and bring the intentions to bring the head down. But don't bring the head down past your knees, especially if you get a tendency of getting dizzy. All right, and then when you want to come up, what I want you to do is tuck the chin in towards the chest, and then push your feet firmly into those blocks or the floor, wherever you're at, and roll yourself up with the abdominals, okay? And then coming right on up, all right? So those are two really good ways of just getting yourself grounded, getting yourself centered, and just bringing your awareness into your body. All right, and then we'll begin with a little bit more movement now. So I'm going to put these to the side for now, and I'm even going to slide my blocks over to the side. Now I'm going to come up onto my chair halfway. Now preferably you have a chair without any arms, and of course nothing on wheels. And generally if the floor is sturdy, it's okay to have the chair right on the floor. Otherwise, if it tends to be a little bit slippery, make sure you've got a firm foundation, such as a mat or a rubber rug, rug that is a non-skid rug. Okay, so we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to use our hands on our thighs, lifting up, pulling that belly button in. And we're just going to start by reaching the arm out straight, okay? So straight out of the armpit today. And what I'd like you to do is try to keep your fingers together this morning, to try to keep containing that energy in the hand, okay? So we're reaching right out of the arm. Try to get it nice and straight in line with your shoulder if it's possible. And then we start to move the arm back, opening up through that pectoral area, okay? The body stays straight, however. So we move that arm back as far as you can go, and then maybe take a slight little back bend or a slight little tilt back onto the tops of the sits bones as you reach that arm back. Then we're going to take that arm right up to 12 o'clock, reaching the arm up, trying to get that bicep right near the ear, okay? And reaching here, good. And then just let that arm float back down, okay? There you go. And then give it a good shake, okay? The important thing here is to try to maintain the elbow. Try to get that as straight as possible. And then when you get here, try to reach, not with the body though, all right? Just reach with the armpit, okay? Lifting up and then pulling that arm back. There you go. And then we're going to reach it up over our head. Okay, and if this doesn't work for you, you can bend the elbow, and bring your hand up, and you're still getting that opening in the armpit. But try to get that arm right on up by the head, by the ear, okay? And then go ahead and float it down. And now we're going to just continue with that and add on. So we're going to reach it out again on the other side, taking it back. Okay, now what I'm going to do with my other hand is I'm going to put it on the opposite knee for a little bit of leverage, and I'm going to reach it on up, and now I'm going to dip over, and here we go. We're going to get that side stretch. So now we're reaching, we're getting this beautiful length in our rib cage, and I'm feeling this stretch right from my hip right into that armpit. Good. And then we're going to swing that arm right back down, and we'll try that on the other side. So again, you can start off with taking that hand across the lap, reach the arm out, try to keep the energy contained by keeping the fingers together, and then we're going to reach up and over that head, keep the chin up away from the chest, and then keep breathing here. Don't hold your breath. This is a good way of opening up that rib cage. Keep breathing, good. And then bring that arm back down. Beautiful. Good. Awesome. And then we're going to now do that, and we're going to kind of take a little bit of a rotation with the shoulder on this. So again, reaching the arm out straight ahead, All right, you can hold onto the knee if you need to. And then you're going to reach the arm up again, maybe pause at that 12 o'clock. Now I want you to think of your hand as the hands of a clock or a pendulum, right? And we're going to lift up, and as we start to rotate over, we're twisting the upper rib cage, and it's like you're looking out a window, right? You're looking over that shoulder on the opposite side, and then we're going to take that arm and we're swinging it right down in front of our shins, and we're going to come right back up to that 12 o'clock. Okay, now you could bring your hand either to the chair for some support or the hip, but just think about lifting up, rotating the chest over, and then taking the dip and then coming down. Good, and then we'll take one more of those, lifting up, twisting, dipping, and rotating. Okay, beautiful. And then just bring that hand down, and we'll try that on the other side. So finding somewhere, just stabilize yourself with the opposite hand. We're going to reach out, so maybe it's on your thigh this time, right? So we're going to reach that arm out, we're going to reach it up, we're going to start to rotate a little bit first, then dip, and then swing that arm all the way down and around. Comes right back up to that 12 o'clock. Okay, rotate, dip, come all the way down and around. So you should feel this in the back, in the rib cage, right? Lift up, twist, and come all the way down and around. Good. Beautiful. Good. And then let that arm float right back down. Beautiful. And then maybe just roll those shoulders up and back and down a few times. And then maybe forward. Good. Awesome. All right, so let's warm the hip up now. So this one I love. It's you have your feet a little bit wider, right? The heels are in, the toes are out. We lift up. And the idea here is to get that chest as low towards those knees as possible. And you take these great big circles with your body, and you're rolling around from left to right in these great big circles. The important thing here, though, however, is to make sure that your sits bones, your sitting bones, stay firm on the chair. So you're not like leaning into one side or the other as you make this movement happen. If you're finding that you are, then just make the circles a little bit smaller, and that will help you contain that energy in the buttock bones so that you don't lose the connection of the chair. So we're going back and forth. And then the other keynote here is to, as you come back, you kind of just give a little bit of a tuck of the chin in towards the chest, and then coming around. Beautiful. And then we'll just kind of bring those luscious circles to the other side as we swing around and tuck in and swing around and come back. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to continue warming up the spine and the upper rib cage and the arms. So now I'm going to bring my feet in just a little bit closer together, and this time I'm going to interlace my fingers. Okay, I'm going to reach my hands right out in front of me. Now today what I'd like to do is work through the thoracic spine. So as we push the hands away from us, we're going to push our feet firmly into the floor and tuck and round back through that thoracic spine. So you should feel this in the shoulder blades as you tuck the chin down. Then we're going to press the hands forward a little bit and then reach them all the way up towards the ceiling, right? And again, try to get nice straight elbows, pull that belly button in. Okay, breathing here, and then bringing the hands back down in front of you, pushing away, tucking and rounding back. And then again, push forward and reach up, lifting all the way up. Good. And then one more like this. Come down, push the palms away, tuck and round back. And then pushing all the way up, reaching those arms up. Now this time, stay with me here. We're going to take the hands, we're going to swing them down. We're going to caress the front of that shin and then draw that knee in as far as you can, maybe pointing the toe down a little bit and really tugging that knee in towards the chest, right? And this is good for the digestive system, right? We just really, ascending and descending colons are being captivated here. And then from here, we'll release. Okay, so release the foot out and hand it up onto the heel, and then those hands are going to come behind you and you're going to hinge forward a little bit. All right, so now we're trying to get that length in that spine. Keep the head and the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. You're kind of looking beyond your toes as you push that leg out. Now, if your hamstrings are tight, you're more than likely going to have a little bit of a bend in the knee. That's okay. Just keep working on trying to open up through the back of the knee. And then we're going to take what we call a half chair pose. So the arm's going to swing back up, right? And what you're trying to do here is reach towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. The hands come together, and again, those elbows are straight, right? We're really breathing here. And then we bring it into a full chair pose by bringing the hands right, or I should say the foot right in to meet and greet the other one. Reach, reach, reach. And then the hands come all the way back up, and we exhale the hands down. Good. All right, we'll try all that on the other side. So if you remember how you interlaced your fingers, it's always kind of fun to try to interlace them the opposite way, okay? Keeping balance in the body. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to press the palms of my hands out again, and I want to watch my shoulders. I don't want them up by my ears. I want to bring them down, right? And then again, we're going to tuck and round back. As we do that, we're pushing the palms of the hands away from us, and then we move the body forward, taking that pelvic bowl forward as we reach those palms right on up. Good. Breathing here, don't hold your breath, and then make sure you come down, and then we're going to tuck and round back again. I just got a little bit of a adjustment, a little bit of a pop in my back, and then reaching up. Here we go. We'll do one more, right? And then we'll grab that knee, right? So reaching out, tucking and rounding back. Good. Come back up all the way. And now we'll come down and grab hold of that shin on the opposite side, really drawing it right on in, pointing and flexing that toe if you'd like, or just point the toe, front ankle, back ankle, roll it. Whatever feels intuitively good for you with that foot. And then as we release the leg, it extends out nice and long in front of us, and we hold on to the back of the chair. Don't hold on to the front, because if you're going to lean forward, it might tip a little bit forward. So you want to hold on to the back of the chair. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other as you start to push through. And I might note too that this leg, the standing leg, is very important here. You're really engaging that quadricep on that leg, so that in fact you're stabilizing your lunge here, and it actually helps to get that lower back out of the pelvic bowl, and you get more length when you keep that leg nice and activated. So now keeping the leg there, this is where that foot comes into play. So keep that foot stabilized on the floor as you reach the arms up, right? Now you're reaching those arms right on up towards the ceiling, where the ceiling and the wall meet, okay? And then you start to hinge forward even more. This is a very powerful posture. You want to pull that belly button in so that you're really strong here, working our core muscles. And then you start to slide that foot back in for a nice full chair pose as we reach here. Good. And then just reach those arms straight on up and exhale the hands all the way down, and give yourself a little bit of a shake. Crisscross applesauce maybe, right? Good. All right, so now we're gonna, let's do a nice angle pose. So we can use our blocks for this. So let's take our blocks, And I'm going to take one foot out to the edge of the chair so that it's in a nice 90-degree angle. My back of my knee is in line with my heel of my foot. Put the block there, and then this leg can come out to the side, okay, and stretch it out nice and long. And if this doesn't work for you, remember, we always have, you can bring it out in front on the heel, you can bring it to the side a little bit, but if you can't quite get this extension, it's okay. You can just make modification. The other key is not to have the foot this way. That's just going to compromise your ankle. So if you can't roll over and open up that hip, requires the hip. If you can't get that hip open with the leg and the foot in that direction, then I would prefer you to have it on the heel and have it out on an angle for safety purposes, okay? You'll still get that beautiful stretch, all right? So you find you first, that's most important, and then we'll bring our hands to our heart center. And we're just going to bring our arms out straight first for our Warrior 2 pose. This is Virabhadrasana 2. This is how we start with our angle pose, right? Looking over those fingertips. And now I'm just going to let my hand come floating down to that top of the block. And then again, we're going to swing this arm down and around all the way up. And I reach up and I stack my arms up. Now, if reaching the block doesn't work for you, or you don't have blocks, you don't necessarily need the block. You can just bring the fingertips down, to the floor, or you can just place your hand, your elbow on your thigh, okay? But don't lean into it, it's just there for some support, okay? So wherever you're at, again, just lots of different ways of doing the same posture, creating a posture that's comfortable to you so that you can provide and get the stretch that you want in the body, all right? And then sweeping that arm down, and we'll just come right to the other side for this stretch. So tapping it out any way you need to, making adjustments, sip of coffee, whatever. All right, so here we go. Over to the other side. And again, this foot's going to come out, and it's going to either come out on the edge like so, all right? Or if you need to, you can come out onto the ankle. This side, I think I'll stay on my heel, on my ankle, okay, because that's my bad ankle. And I'm going to bring my block in. Get this one over here for you. And then I'm going to bring my hands to my heart. Now, this is kind of cool because you can take your thumbs to your sternum to get yourself a little bit of a lift. Breathing here. And then we float the fingertips away from one another as we take the gaze over. And this is setting ourselves up, right? So we really want to pull the belly button in, be nice and strong in our core as we're reaching over, creating that stability and strength. And then I'm going to slide my hand down onto that block. And then again, I'm going to windmill my arm down and around, all the way up and around, and then just come right up into that nice angle pose. And eventually you want to try to work on stacking shoulders on top of shoulders as you take this in. There's actually a little bit of a twist in this posture where I'm rolling my rib cage around and back. So I've got, for me, I've got my right rib cage rolling back as my left rib cage is rolling under, and I've got this nice beautiful stretch going on in the body. And then I'm going to come up. I'll bring the block with me. I'm going to come up, and then I'm going to bring my hands together and come back to there. All right, so that stretched out those hamstrings, I'm sure, right, and the rib cage. So from here we can do a little bit more core work with the legs. So what I'd like us to do first, though, is bring the hands, and again, if you don't have a block, you can use a book or a box, and we're just going to hold the book or the block right out in front of us, okay? And again, we're going to reach the arms up, lifting up, and then as we come down, we're going to tap the block on our leg, and then reach up, and then go to the other side and tap, and come up and tap. Now, if you can, you can tap your knee if you need to, right? But eventually I want you to try to tap that foot, all right? Lifting up, tap, up, and tap, up, and tap. This is really good for the core. It's good for cardio too. Up and back. Here we go. Good. Let's do one more on either side, right? 1, 2. Beautiful. Reaching up and then bringing that block right out in front of you again. Okay? And then now what we'll do here is we're going to lean forward like you're going to give that block out to somebody, reaching forward and then coming all the way back and tuck that chin in towards the chest, okay? And then up and over, leaning forward, similar to what we did earlier, right, with our hands, only this time it's a little bit more exaggerated, and we're really pulling that belly button in as we go. So again, we're working through the core, pull that belly button in, and then we'll get to the legs. Pull it in, and come back, breathing through this, pull it in and come back. And just take it slow. It doesn't have to go fast, all right? And even if you only do like maybe 2 or 3 reps, it counts, okay? All right, so taking the block now, and we're gonna bring it down onto the floor. And for this one, you might wanna sit a little bit further back in the chair. And I'll move that one. And you're going to bring your ankles on either side of the block, okay? And we'll hold our hands down towards the floor, all right? Finding like a mountain pose, seated mountain pose. So let's do that first, okay? We'll take our time here. So we'll take our fingertips down towards the floor and just feel the shoulder blades start to dip down. Now, start to broaden through your collarbone, right, by really squeezing your shoulder blades towards each other, lifting up through the rib cage and pulling your belly button in. And then we find what we call drishti. So that's a focal point. And that can be either something in the room, either straight out in front of you. Sometimes people need to feel a little bit more grounded, so they need to look more on the floor. And sometimes people need to look a little bit higher, maybe up by the top of the wall or the ceiling where they meet. All right, or you can find drishti on your body. Some people actually try to locate the tip of their nose, and that becomes their drishti. But basically, the drishti is that concentration. It's the calming of the mind. It's the stoppage of the chitter-chatter that goes on the mind, or that monkey mind swinging from tree to tree. Because you're just allowing the breath to come into the body, and you're totally concentrating in the position that you're sitting in or standing in, okay? All right, so now from here, we're gonna take and squeeze that block on either side of our ankles, and we're just gonna pull the ankles up and hover off the floor a little bit. And again, we're pulling in our belly button. We're very strong here with our core. And then if you are able, I want you to swing your leg out in front of you, working through the quadriceps, and hold this here as much as you can. Now try not to lean back too much. You want to sit right on up on top of those sits bones. Keep squeezing those legs together. Your thighs should be, creating conversation with you right about now, right? And then swing the leg in, but try to keep it up. Try not to have it hovering off the floor. Try not to touch. And then sweep it out again, holding it up. Nice long straight leg. And again, if your hamstrings are tight, your knees are probably a little bit of a bend in there for now. It's okay. And then swing it in. Good. And then one more. Swing it out. Hold it. Hands are still pushing down towards the floor. You can even hold onto your chair if you need to, okay? And then swing it in and drop the block down and tap that out, okay? So that's going to set us up for our flamingo pose. And so we're going to come off the chair a little bit. And kind of that same action. I'm going to lift and hover my foot off the floor, but this time I'm going to bring it out to the side so it's in an angle now. Taking the hand out in front, and it's the same, so try to keep that foot flexed if you can. Okay, and then this other side's going to stay straight, and we're just going to bring that hand right on up straight, and this is called flamingo. Okay. And again, we're working the inner seam of the leg and that quadricep, as well as a little bit of balance and bringing the breath in. Good. And then we're just going to bring it all back together. Hands come to heart center, and we'll try that on the other side. Okay? Taking a little breath and take a sip of water. Hopefully you've got water with you. Okay? And then hovering the foot off the floor, bring it right on out. So what we're doing here is we're externally rotating that femur bone and that hip joint. We're opening up that hip on that side. And then this is the balance piece. So you want to bring the arm out, and even though we're seated, it's still a balance, right? We're still balancing here. It's all about core muscles. We're getting those nice and strong and straight so that when we do stuff standing, we've got that balance. So we're reaching up and breathing. Kind of reminds me of the airplane guys, right? And then bring it back and bring it down and tap it on out. Beautiful. All right, we're going to just finish off with a little bit of twisting, and then we're going to take the bolster back in for Shavasana. So for this twist, let's take it up, inhaling the hands up, and then just twist around and drop the arms down. We'll take a few of these first, nice and slow and gentle, making sure that the shoulders are upright, your shoulders are down, right, but squeezing towards each other, and then lifting and reaching and just twisting to the other side. And then again, lift and twist. And then lift and twist. Good. And now maybe twisting a little bit differently. Exhale. Let's take one leg out straight. Okay. And then we'll twist to the opposite side, okay? But this time I'm going to take that hand over to the other side of the chair. The other one's on the outside edge of the knee. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to push through the heel of that straight leg. I'm going to lift up, squeeze my shoulder blades towards each other, pull my belly button in, and twist a little bit deeper now. And breathing here. Good. And then you always start to unwind first by releasing the hands, and then sweep up, bring that leg in. Exhale, sweep down, that leg comes out and around. So straighten out that leg, and then take that hand way over to the opposite side of the chair and take a nice deeper twist this time. Lifting up, squeezing, belly button in, shoulders down. Give yourself a good twist. Good. And then unwinding again, coming back to center, right? And then inhaling the hands up and exhale. And one more. Let's take it this way. If you can't quite cross your legs, then just go ahead and do that same twist we just did. Otherwise, let's cross one leg over the other. Okay? And then lifting up nice and tall, and then again taking opposite hand on the opposite side of that knee. We'll reach the arm way up like we have been doing, right? And we get the length here. Feel the armpit open up, feel the rib cage open up, and then go ahead and bend that elbow down and around. And you can either just, keep it on your backside or find the opposite side of the chair, lifting up and twisting right around for a deeper twist. squeezing the thighs together, maybe pointing the front toe to open up through that ankle. If you can't quite get it here, maybe you just cross at the ankles. And then unwind. And then we'll take that to the other side. Just kind of kick that around a little bit. So maybe take that knee in, help it over, okay? Make sure this foot's nice and stable and it's straight, it's not out or over one side or the other, right? You want it right in line, because this is the foot that's going to help you get the twist, believe it or not, right? You're pushing into the floor with that foot. You take this hand on the outside edge, we reach the opposite arm right up towards the ceiling, get the length, feel the rib cage open up, because you need the twist between your belly, right in the belly button area, right in between your rib cage and your hip, and then swing that arm down and around, find the opposite side of the chair, shoulders down, and then lift and twist, using your hands on the body and chair to help get a deep twist. Good. And then you can, stay here as long as you'd like, or you can unwind, right? Just take that leg off, and we'll now find a moment of rest in Shavasana again. So once again, you can take your pillow and you can just bring it right on top of your lap this time, all right? And I don't have the blocks this time either, right? And I'm just gonna bring my arms over again, and again you can bring your hands to your forehead, and it's almost the same way we started, right? Or try to get your head down on top of your cushion or your pillow. And again, just kind of finishing off the practice where we started today, in that stillness, and you can stay here for as long as you'd like. Breathing is most important part, to be concentrating on that breath of yours and just really relaxing and melting. That's really what Shavasana is. It's a rest posture. It's to actually bring the essence of all of the movement that you did, to kind of cultivate that cellular memory in the body and to integrate the movement into the body. So taking time, taking pause, it's very important each and every time you come to the chair to do chair yoga, or maybe even mat yoga, or just doing life. Taking pause is important. So I'll leave you here, and would like to just bring in that love and light, and always reminding you that the love and that light that you continue to shine upon myself is the same love and light that I shine on you. Raising thumbs to third eye as we say namaste. Thank you, and enjoy your day. Enjoy the practice.